The comedy trivia show, Who Knows What, will be preempted tonight so that WBAU can bring to you, live from the Adelphi University Ratskeller, that popular game show, The Mating Game. And now here's the host of The Mating Game, Mr. Mike Cassano.
Thank you, Johnny Naked, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to The Mating Game, the show where two lucky people can meet each other, fall in love, get married, and if national statistics don't change, grow to hate each other and write to Dear Abby about their problems for the rest of their lives. Now let's meet the three men who will be vying for the attentions of a young lady. Our first bachelor is a born loser who is only here to fill up space. Scaling in at over 800 pounds, ladies and gentlemen, meet bachelor number one, known only as Lardo. Lardo, it's hard to believe you're over 800 pounds. Boy, is it hard to believe. How did you let yourself get so heavy?
Where's the food?
Now I know. Hope you start reading Jane Fonda real soon. Our second bachelor bills himself as the world's oldest rock and roll star, originally a member of the Resident Student Association at Chapman Hall. Here's Mr. Slash Wonderbar. Slash.
Don't worry, Mama. I'll come to bed as soon as I watch the midgets wrestle.
No, Slash. Wake up. You're on the mating game.
Huh?
The mating game. The mating game.
When did I see Citizen Kane?
No, never mind. The producers tell me you're the oldest living rock star.
That's right, Spike.
No, Mike. Mike.
Whatever.
Well, since you know about rock and roll, what do you think of contemporary bands like Men at Work?
I'm always up for employment.
How about the Police?
What did I do wrong?
What about a flock of seagulls?
You won't catch me underneath them.
Yeah, right. Moving on, bachelor number three is an actor turned politician. His name, Ronald Reagan. Mr. President.
Please, just call me Ronnie.
Okay, Ronnie, why are you on the mating game? You're already married.
Well, Mike, Nancy and I have an open relationship. She knows she can't fulfill all my needs, and so I'm here on the show tonight to do just that. That is, as soon as I remember what those needs are.
Great, Ron.
Mike.
Yeah?
You don't think they have anything to do with the Soviet Union now, do you?
Not unless you think about Foreign Minister Gromyko a lot.
Oh, yeah. Andre.
Okay, let's get back to the show. Let me introduce to you the lucky lady who'll get to choose one of these eligible bachelors. Direct from Eddie Hall, here's Mary Sikorsky.
No, I don't want to go.
Mary, what's wrong? Stage fright, huh?
No, embarrassment. I wouldn't be caught dead with any of these guys.
That can be arranged, Mary.
Huh?
Just asking questions, Mary.
Oh, all right. Bachelor number one. What do you think is the best attribute in a woman?
Does she cook?
That's disgusting. Mike, you've really got me in a pickle.
Down, boy. Bachelor number two.
Bachelor number two. Wake up.
Huh? Oh, sorry.
What do you think of sex before marriage?
I'm totally against it.
Why?
It'll hold the wedding up at least 20 minutes.
Oh, brother. Bachelor number three.
Yes.
What can you tell me about your first date?
Well, Jerry.
That's Mary.
Oh, my first date was great.
Yeah?
I took her to dinner.
Yeah?
And then I took her back to my place.
Yeah?
And then I registered her in the Republican Party.
You call that romantic?
Oh, well, that's one vote for me from 1984.
That's it.
Well, Mary, who's the lucky fellow? Bachelor number one, bachelor number two, or bachelor number three?
Bachelor number four.
Mary, there's no bachelor number four.
There is now.
Hi, guys.
I just love a man with a deep voice. Bye, guys.
Oh, well, tune in next week when Joan Rivers gets a chance to choose from James Watt, Mick Jagger, or Elizabeth Taylor. Until then, who knows what's going to happen?
Live from Garden City, the town where being in live doesn't mean having to say you're sorry. It's Who Knows What, spontaneously emanated from the Rockin' and Rollin' Ratskeller on the campus of Adelphi University. Who Knows What is written by and starring Jim Doig and Mike Cassano, along with Bill Zontini, Dave Donovan, Dennis McCarthy, Mary Sikorsky, Rob Lish as half a floor walker, and John Vella as half an engineer. Tonight's pseudo-sponsors are Gypped Peanut Butter and the Maricki Moretti Dental Clinic. We'll also go shopping at the Who Knows What department store, and we'll look into the mystical mind of the Maharishi Cassano. This special live edition of Who Knows What is sponsored by Centurion Pizza, located at 279 Nassau Boulevard in Garden City, featuring an assortment of Italian specialties. And now, without any preparation whatsoever, we switch you live to a dimly lit room in the basement of a funny-looking building on a college campus where who knows what is already in flight.
Good evening, and welcome to Who Knows What over WBAU in Garden City. I'm Jim Doig.
I'm Mike Cassano.
I'm Mary Sikorsky.
I'm Bill Zontini.
And I'm Cary Breiner.
And over here.
Dave Donovan over here.
And we're coming to you live from the Ratskeller at Adelphi University. So for everyone out there who's planning to call, don't call us tonight because we don't have any phones. We're going to be taking questions, hopefully from the audience, if they can get into it. And yes, there is an audience out here. Let's hear it.
You paid them well.
Well, now we'll explain the rules of the game here. What you do is you give us a trivia question, we'll try to figure it out. Then we'll give you one back, you try to figure it out. If you get it right, we got movie posters and we got books for you. So it's really worth the effort to come down here. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
We have 4 pseudo-sponsors coming at you tonight. We also have a weird check of the news, and we're going to try to survive this hour because, frankly, we've never done this before.
First time.
Yes, we're so used to the comfort of our studio, and we just talk to the people over the phone. But now we get to see you live in person, and we want to thank everyone out there for coming. And these are all the people who live on campus, huh?
I just want to know one thing. These are all resident students?
All resident
All right.
students.
Now, they say Adelphi's apathetic. I want to know, how many are you? Who's from Eddie Hall? All right. Chapman Hall? I hear it. Linden Hall? And, of course, Waldo Hall? All right, Waldo.
All right.
Hunt's Hall. What? You want Earl? You want Earl? Earl Hall.
Well, we have our roving person on the floor, Mr. Rob Lish, who's out there among the crowd, and he's going to try to muster up a question.
Rob's the one with the blinking visor.
With the blinking visor. If you have
He
a
is
question,
harmless, believe me.
make yourself available.
If you can. I
Either
don't
that
know.
or Rob, you're going to have to be forceful. I don't know. Go ahead, get to it.
Our first question is from Glenn from Northport.
Glenn
From Northport.
How you doing, Glenn?
Let's hear it for Glenn, everybody.
North from Glenport?
Yeah,
What is
that's
your
it.
question?
Yes,
Go ahead, Glenn.
Okay, my question is 2 parts, and both parts deal with the series MASH, okay?
We got an hour and you want 2 parts?
2 parts,
Okay.
yes. A leg and a breast.
Wait,
Okay.
we gotta look it up in the book.
No, using the book.
Dave
Hold it.
has the book.
Wait a minute, this is cheating here, using the book. The motto of the 4077th in the series MASH was Best Care Anywhere. What was the motto of the 8063rd?
The 8063rd.
Best food anywhere.
Go to the MASH 4077.
Are
The
their rates
motto
cheaper?
of the MASH 8060. Any idea? You have any
Go
idea?
for it, Dave.
The motto of the
You
man.
slice them, we dice them.
You slice them, we dice them. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
the
I-
motto of the 8063rd. You slice them, we dice them. How'd we do?
No, you didn't do this.
I don't think
The
What's the
motto
correct
was,
answer?
What's
We
the
never
answer?
close.
We never close. Do we have a MASH question back for Glenn in Northport?
You don't want part 2?
Nah.
Couldn't deal with part 1, you don't want part 2.
No, we'll take part 2. Go ahead.
Part 2 was in what show in the series, and I'll even give you this, it was in the 7th year of the series, did that sign appear stating just that fact?
What
Boy, he
show?
really gets in depth,
got it
doesn't
for
he?
this
I don't
one,
know.
think. Let's see. What show?
What show? It wasn't when, let's see, when they had to go, when Hawkeye and Margaret had to go and give a surgery demonstration? It
That
wasn't
might
that?
have, could try it. I don't know.
Oh, for those of you who don't, if you don't have the answer to a question, don't say I don't know, because this is live radio. I know it's very hard to tell because we don't have a sign. But if you don't know the answer to a question, don't say I don't know. Say Shirley Bassey. It just covers it for you there. We're going to say Shirley Bassey is the answer to your question, seeing that we really don't know.
Good old Cheryl.
The series show was entitled Bug Out. It was the 3rd in the series of that year.
Okay.
Bug
Do we
out.
have a
about
question
an
back for
Alan
this
Alda
man?
question?
An Alan Alda question.
Alan
All right.
Alda question.
Alan Alda's made a couple of movies. I'd like to know, what was the first one he wrote and co-directed?
4 seasons.
Are you sure?
Excuse me?
Is that your final answer?
That's my final. It was my first and only answer.
He's got it.
I got it.
Give
that man a poster. Let's hear it for
give
Glenn
that
from
man a
Northport.
poster,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
Glenn from Northport.
Our first winner of the night.
You won the MASH book, and that comes to us from, Bob's Merrill.
Thank you, Bob Smerrill, for supplying us with that book. Let's have a nice hand for Glenn. Well, if Mr. Lish is roaming the floor, we'll take one more question before we go to our first pseudo-sponsor.
Our next question is from Mike from Chapman Hall.
Hey, Mike.
Let's hear it for Mike, yeah.
There you are.
Where is he?
Mike, Michael.
Let's get back here to him.
Okay.
Rob's vanishing right now.
All the way back in the crowd.
Rob's found himself.
I would like to know who the Belushi clone is in the corner. No, I'm sorry. My question is from, Jonathan Frid.
Yeah.
You got that name. Jonathan Frid played what character in what long-running daytime ABC series?
Dark
making it.
Shadows.
Barnabas Collins.
Ah, you got it. That was great.
All right, Dave.
Do we have a Barnabas Collins question back?
How about a horror question back?
A horror question. We have a horror question
Mouth
for
away
you.
from the mic there, son. Okay, this is a goodie. Who, as Igor, had his head thrust at the audience in the 3D thriller House of Wax?
Charles Bronson.
You sure?
I'm fucking right.
Guess what? He's 2 for 2. We're losing.
Let's hear it for him. What do we got
Give
for
that
him?
man a poster.
And he wins a copy of TV Movies by Leonard Maltin. Comes to us from Signet Press. And a
Get that book right back to him.
right.
Nice hand for that man in the corner.
Keep making Dave move.
Chapman Hall makes itself known on the radio.
Yes. Well, if we could muster the cast over to this mic over here, we're going to attempt a pseudo-sponsor. A reminder to those listening at home on the radio, if you're trying to call us tonight, don't, because we don't have a phone. We're broadcasting live from the Ratskeller here at Adelphi University. And coming up for you now, we call them pseudo-sponsors because WBAU is a non-profit radio station, so we can't exactly call them sponsors. So this is actually a joke commercial. And if we're all set, we'll just get our cast over here. Mr. Breiner joining us here.
Yeah.
That's it? Okay, we'll continue with more of Who Knows What right after this.
Good evening, and welcome to the Who Knows What department store. Tonight, Mike Cassano will attempt to purchase a pair of shoes.
Excuse me, do you work here?
Yes.
Great. Well, I'd like to see what you have in your shoe department.
No, please, sir, not that department.
Why?
Well, I always feel belittled going in there. All those shoes are constantly sticking their tongues out at me.
Ah, come on. Listen, are those shoes available with rubber soles?
Sir, we don't sell artificial fish in this department. Try sporting goods.
That's not what Never mind. Does this style come with laces?
No, sir. There's nothing mixed in.
Not laced. Laces. You know, string to tie the shoes down?
Sir, I don't think these laces are made from goose feathers.
Oh, I'd like to try this pair on. Do you have a shoe horn?
No, but I have a car horn.
Car horn? Forget it. I'll take this pair.
Sir, those are shoes, not fruit.
Pair meaning 2.
2 fruits?
No, just give me the box.
How many rounds?
That's a box for shoes.
I'd do it for the money if I were you, sir.
Ah.
The Who Knows What department store, serving Garden City for the last 20 minutes. Quality merchandise is not a shoe-in.
For me?
For you.
And for you. Thank you. Rob will now muster out into the crowd once again and try to drum up questions. Reminder, this is Who Knows What, normally call-in trivia, but we're here with a live audience tonight, so if you're at home, just sit there and listen to the radio.
We have a very special guest.
We have one announcement.
We have an announcement before we get to that guest, Mr. Lish.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Just like to remind you that this special edition of Who Knows What is being brought to you by Centurion Pizza, located 279 Nassau Boulevard in Garden City South, featuring an assortment of Italian specialties like pizza.
And thank you, Centurion Pizza. Now back to Mr. Lish, who's out on the floor.
Yes, the blinking
We have
light
a
man.
very special guest out here.
Yes.
I can't
He
wait.
just flew in from Washington, D.C., where he was in
Washington,
conference
D.C.
with Ronald Reagan and Mr. Kissinger.
I don't remember him.
He's also known affectionately to all of us panel members and to you other calling guests as the Professor.
Finally.
Good morning, students.
Nice of you to
there
drop
he
by.
is.
Nice
Top
of
of the
you.
morning to you.
Yes, to those of you in the audience, the Professor is normally a phone caller to our show since we've been doing it for 103 weeks, so he's been with us as long as we've been around. Nice hand for the Professor there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Professor, what's your question for the evening? Nice to see you in person.
Okay, thanks.
Go ahead.
All right.
Thank you.
There's a band called Jaluka. I don't know if you've heard of them or not. I hope you haven't. I'd like to know what country they're from.
Jaluka.
What country is
Well, the only thing I
Jaluka?
know about him is they did a song called Scatterlings.
Is that right?
Yeah, but that's not what...
But you don't know what country they're from.
Scatterlings, Ohio.
That's a country? I hope nobody here is from Ohio tonight. I don't know.
About a while. How about the Bahamas?
The Bahamas. Professor, how did we do?
Sounds reasonable.
Not too good, I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
But
The correct answer is
South Africa.
South Africa.
Africa, okay.
We have a music question back for the
Music
professor.
question. Professor, 4 years ago,
That's 4.
a singer scored a comeback doing a song called Sad Eyes. Turn the other way. Who was that
Singing.
guy? 4 years ago, he was at the top of the charts with the song.
What's he doing now? Any hints or?
He's probably
He's
collecting
working
royalties.
here as a bouncer at the Rat.
He lives
Yes.
he lives in Chapman Hall. Sad Eyes.
Well, that's a tough one. Let me see.
He's got 2 names that sound like they both could be his first name.
Yes.
So
And while
he
we
answers
wait,
to a
we
lot of
invite
people.
everybody to come sit down and join us. We got prizes if you want to ask a question. Professor, any idea?
I'll take a wild guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for
Eddie Money.
Eddie
Money.
Money. Well, if I had a first name named Money, I'd enjoy myself.
Yes.
But no, it was Robert John. Robert
John.
Good question.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice hand for the
Was it
professor.
Wash?
Thanks for coming
Yeah.
down.
Hey, Professor.
Nice of you to drop by.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. The door is that way.
Yes. Well, we'll move right along if Mr. Lish is...
Our next question is from Ron from Williston Park.
Ron from Williston Park. Let's have a nice hand for Ron, everybody.
Morning, Ron.
Hey!
Okay, I hope you guys could do some automobile trivia.
Automobile
My
trivia.
question has to do with the big fins on the back of the automobiles. Where did they go? They disappeared.
Where did the big fins on the back of the automobile go? Probably to
flew
some
away.
fish. I don't know.
Evolution.
Any idea?
People were getting carved up, so they
Yes,
got
people-
rid of them.
Okay. Where
What
did
happened
the
to the big
fin?
fins?
What happened to them? They just
They stopped
decided
making
they,
them.
That makes
They
sense.
what?
Yeah.
They went out.
Went out of stock.
Give him an answer.
They're all in Dave's house.
Yes, they're the fins
lot of
to the
fins
automobiles
You
are
always
at
see
Dave's house.
Looks like.
Was it, let me try this, Ron. Was it because of wind and that it was holding cars mileage back and then they had to get rid of them?
Very good answer.
Hey, hey.
I know. Aerodynamics.
Aerodynamics. That's why they. Hey, we got a point. We have an automobile question back.
How about an
for Ron.
automobile question?
Automobile
back?
question.
All right.
A reminder to everyone in the audience: this is live radio, although it doesn't appear to be. If you go tune in 90.3, you'll hear us.
We are
but it's
on
better
the
to
air.
see us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Automotive, kind of, if you're in Europe. I'd like to know, what is the metric mile? What is it equal to?
What is the metric mile equal to?
As a hint, they run it in the Olympics.
They run it in the Olympics.
The kilometer, 0.6 of a mile of a
The kilometer.
U.S.
Is that
mile.
your final answer? Kilometer?
Okay.
Kilometer.
Yeah.
Actually, the metric mile is equal to 1,500 meters.
1,500 meters. So he doesn't get it?
Would have
No.
never known.
Well, let's have a nice hand for Ron anyway.
Yeah, come on.
Hey!
Get a poster. Let him have it.
As we move right along,
Our next question comes from a lady who literally lives in Washington, D.C.
Literally,
She works in
literally.
the State Department.
Uh-oh.
whoa!
She is an executive assistant.
Rob, where are you going?
I'm going right to the back here.
He gets
He's
swallowed by
I'm
the
looking
crowd.
for
Rob
Jeanette
has
from
to use the
Washington,
lavitational
D.C.
facility.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, where are you going?
She also works for the CIA and she blends in with the scenery.
Let's have a nice hand for Rob. He knows what he's doing. Yeah,
Specialist in disappearing over there.
that's it.
What street is the White House on?
What street is the White House on?
Pennsylvania Avenue.
Pennsylvania Avenue. Oh. Well, these
What's-
questions are getting a little easy. I don't know. We got a Washington, D.C. question back.
Washington, D.C. question. All right, what's in front of the, what's that pointy thing?
That pointy
That
thing?
pointy
It's
thing.
called the Washington Monument, Harry.
What is directly in front of it that you can see in all the pictures? It's real scenic.
The pool?
A pool. Yeah,
No
I'll
coaching
buy
from the
that.
audience.
All right, okay.
No
cool.
heckling.
That's
Harry the
right.
coaching.
That's it. She wins a.
You got it?
Yeah.
What was the answer
A
again?
pool.
A pool is
A
in front of the
pool. There's a
Washington
pool.
Monument. Is that a pool?
pool.
A pool. Let's have a nice hand for this young lady over
Water.
here. Yay! And she gets.
TV movies by Leonard Maltin. We got a lot of these to give away.
Dave's
Leonard
just
Maltin.
itching to get rid of them. So if you got questions, we got stuff to give you. Literally.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's it.
Just 3 left.
Well, coming up after this next question, another attempt at a pseudo-sponsor, so stick around.
Mr. Lish.
Mr. Lish.
The next person, please.
Oh,
Our next question is from Sarah from Eddie Hall.
Sarah from Eddie Hall. Let's have a nice hand for Sarah. Yay!
Sarah from Eddie Hall.
Rob's conversing
Sarah.
with Sarah right now.
Come on, Sarah.
Sarah from Eddie Hall.
Where does Pet Benatar originally come from?
What, everybody kind of keep it down just a bit. What's the question?
Everybody come here.
Whoa!
Rob, stop shouting.
Rob, you can
His head's
translate.
all lit up, yes.
Where did Pat Benatar originally live?
Where did
Where
Pat
did Pat
Benatar
Benatar
originally live?
Lindenhurst.
Lindenhurst.
No, wrong. I heard it wrong.
Babylon?
Not Babylon.
Flushing.
I think Sarah might have the answer.
In a house.
It's wrong. It's Merrick, Long Island.
Where's that?
How'd we do?
What was the answer?
Merrick, Long Island.
Merrick.
Yeah, Merrick.
Train
Okay.
station.
Anybody here from Merrick tonight? No?
Oh.
Okay, good. Now we can say dirty things about Merrick.
Uh-oh. Okay, Sarah.
We have a music question back.
A question back, musically. There's a new band called Big Country. I'd like to know where they come from.
What?
There's a band that's just out now. It's getting a lot of good airplay. It's called Big Country. And I'd like to know where they come from. What, yeah, Long Island. What country, actually? Make it easier. Sarah?
Australia.
Big country.
Australia.
Australia.
Oh,
Actually,
sounds like something is,
it is Scotland.
Scotland. Let's have a nice hand for Sarah.
Yeah.
Are we back? Oh, we're back.
we're back.
Great. Oh, we kind of disappeared there on you for a second. We have another attempt at a pseudo-sponsor here. We'll continue, if Dennis is paying attention, we'll continue with more of Who Knows What right after this.
Can we have one of those mics, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Rob Lesh.
Excuse me, miss. What are you doing to that pineapple?
Oh my God! I thought no one was looking.
Oh, well, this is network radio, and I'm sure everybody at home wants to hear about the pineapple.
I'm checking to see if it's fresh. I only want the best for my family.
Are you this choosy about peanut butter?
My kids don't like peanut butter.
Lady, I suggest you cooperate, or we'll play this tape back for the authorities.
Well, okay.
Here are 2 brands of peanut butter marked A and B. Taste both and tell me which is the freshest.
Well, all right. Oh, it's B.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's B.
stop the tape. Get the cops.
Huh? What? Oh, you wanted me to say A? All right, it's A. I like A.
Lady, this is live radio. Forget it. You blew it.
No, wait, please. I didn't mean it. I'm an A.
Whoa, when it comes to shoplifting, choosy mothers get gypped.